Okay, this next one is really interesting because I really want to share this on the show and I want to spend a little time on it. The new XGov, we basically have finalized the next six XGov proposals. Now, there was some complaints about this because we were thinking this would be like actual governance stuff, not just deciding who gets money. But it is important. It is nice that we are able to make those decisions on who gets funding versus just having the foundation pick everything. So Governor Zen.algo, now he's been. I think we might have him on the show next week to talk in a little more depth about governance and where it's going. Maybe Adri from the foundation too, if we can get her. But GovZen has put a lot of work into this XGov, and as far as I know, he's just a volunteer doing this. I don't think he actually gets paid for anything. We'll cover that when he comes on. And he's put together. He's been. I've been working with him a little bit to understand the XGov stuff, and also now he's put together a nice chart so we can look through and see this. So let's take a look here. Now, just to be clear, this will come up. This will come up next time, not this time. So the very next vote, you had to sign up for this vote, and then the next vote, you'll be eligible for governor. All right, so here's from GovZen. He says, all right, just finished my preliminary observations in all current XGov proposals. There are a few standouts that seem worth digging into a bit more, but you can find almost all the current discussions either here. He's got them on the forums and such. Oh, there's a lot more than I thought. Is this what I pulled up last time? All right, this is Algorand. Inside, they are requesting 9,000 algo. Bring the Algorand community to the latest ecosystem news. And here's Average Zen. He says, I can't see approving 9,000 algo for building up a Twitter account to provide posts on Algorand, which are already readily available from a lot of sources. We have Vibe for this already. Yeah, I kind of agree. So it wasn't even really clear from their proposal what exactly it was, but Average Zen kind of broke it down. And yeah, we have plenty of people like already covering Algorand. So why should you get community funding to basically start a Twitter account? It doesn't make any sense. This is a Gov18 Coke AVM library for AVM version 8. So this sounds important. 250,000 algo requested, so that's a pretty big chunk of change. The aim is to finish the implementation of the Coke AVM library for version 8 of the AVM. A summary of the library can be found here. There's a little PDF that you can get. Aim of the Coke AVM library is to provide a tool set that helps developing formal verification proofs for smart contracts in Coke. And it kind of goes on to explain this a lot more, but this actually sounds like something that is very useful and important. And a lot of this is, I'm not going to lie, way over my head, but it sounds like a lot of good stuff. Everzen says, I've read up on this as much as I think I'll be able to understand. I admire wanting to expand the general tool set of Algorand, but I'm not sure about funding this through XGov at this time, given the amount requested, and there are currently alternative methods for achieving the same results from what little I understand. That said, I understand very little of this, except that it would be a new way to verify AVM development. Yeah, I think a lot of people are. I'm glad it's not just me. A lot of people are very confused about this particular one. Algorand Foundation Market Operations Dashboard. This is really interesting. This is a dashboard that monitors the Algorand Foundation market operations in 2023 that updates daily. So you would know what the Algorand Foundation is doing. You'd have a dashboard to watch it in real time. Open source, and they're requesting 4,000 algo. The foundation is releasing regular transparency reports. Do we need this? Avzen says, I wouldn't mind live coverage from a third party so long as the coverage was comprehensive, well organized, and well presented. Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I would love a tool so we don't have to rely on their transparency reports, which have been pretty much always late anyway. These would actually be on time. I think that's a better option. So I'm all for that. I think that's a good one. I like that one. An unnamed wallet. I don't think we need another wallet, but Liquid Glass. Unnamed wallet is a wallet implements UTXO to give users pseudonymity. It is built on Algorand, is an open source project and is fully ran by volunteers who are willing to put their time in to develop it. If you wish to help unnamed but are unable to do so due to a busy schedule or you're not a programmer, you can help by donating some algos to the project. Yeah, that seems a little inappropriate to ask for donations in a proposal where you're asking for foundation money or you're asking for governance money. They're requesting 6,100 algo, 6,101. What does Zen say about it? I love the team or volunteers. It seems like a great hobby project, but I'm sure about the use case. It seems like the added privacy function is just one click away on Algo Explorer, being able to trace the transaction sequence. Maybe I'm misunderstanding how this functions. Yeah, I'm actually a little distrustful about yet another wallet. I would like the existing wallets to be solidified. What else we got? Yet another wallet. These are all the ones that made it through. Another open source Algorand wallet. They're asking for 10,000. A wallet is the first open source Algorand wallet. Wallet allows multi-sig features, ledger powered accounts, rekeying, making account online, and protected Algorand network, vanity account generation, ARC14 support, contains Algorand native payment gateway, and more. As well as built as a Docker image so that anyone can run it locally in their environment and debug, for example, sandbox accounts. Yeah, I definitely know how to do that. Oh boy. It sounds like they got a lot going on. Like I said, I just don't know how much we need another. Average Zen says, I like Ludo and I like what they bring to the community, but I've never been sold on a wallet. It seems like other wallets in the ecosystem are miles ahead in terms of development. And while I appreciate the open source nature, I'm not convinced this proposal is a priority at this time. Yeah, and I don't know that we need another wallet. This is cool. This is ASA Stats point in time tax reporting reference for U.S. citizens. Now they're asking for 75,000 algos. So I think that's the second most expensive one we've come across, besides the 250,000 algo. You know about ASA Stats. We covered it on the show. It allows you. It's basically like a portfolio tracker. It's on web, iOS, and Android. And on top of real-time monitoring of up to 5 user addresses for free, the ASA Stats point in time will bring the possibility to elevate user accounts at any moment in the past. After the implementation, Algorand blockchain users will be able to create transparent feature references for tax reporting. So this is cool because this is like a super needed thing. It's a lot of money that they're asking for, but I think that's a good use of it. So we'll see about that. This proposal implies that the deployment of all needed data and templates for U.S. tax citizens, tax reports for free. That's cool. At the same time, users from the rest of the world will get a foundation for implementation through ASA Stats user widget systems. Very interesting. I think this is probably one of the most interesting ones I've seen yet, because that is a really needed thing. Fifth Ray says, pay them whatever they ask. This is a great idea and be a huge help for taxes. Average Zen says it's not exciting, but I think of this proposal as bringing the sort of utility that projects like Nimble are hoping to bring to Algorand. I think they're starting out with the US, but plan to build it from there. The team is well known to the community, and their milestones seem quite clear with a solid roadmap. 75,000 isn't much though, but if they can build out a usable product on that budget, then more power to them. Yeah, I think if any of these get a positive absolute yes, it is this one for me. That's the one I'm probably most excited about. Let's see, a live stream integration. We got a few more of these, not too many. This is coming from NifGen. They are asking for 192,000 algo. One of the main features we want to implement for NifGen is live stream integration. The mechanics of live stream feature, creators can live stream on NifGen. While live streaming on NifGen, creators can simultaneously broadcast on YouTube. Users will have the option to watch the live stream on NifGen or YouTube. Users can watch the live stream on NifGen. Will earn proof of attendance protocol. They basically earn a token. Users with a certain amount of POAPs can access features and events in the future. So NifGen is something that all of us Algorand YouTubers were invited to, and it just kind of fell flat. None of us, pretty much nobody is posting on it anymore because I don't know. I was pretty diligent about posting to it when they launched because I thought it was it was basically like a Patreon for blockchain people. But the cool part about it was that it was supposed to be basically you could subscribe to everybody's extra content for one fee. So it seemed like a good idea. That was a good value proposition. Unfortunately, like nobody else, me and Sewell were the only people that were posting to it. So at some point, it's like, well, I'm telling people, hey, come subscribe because you get to see all these other videos. And I'm like, well, what's the point? I feel like I'm lying to people because no one else is posting videos except me. And then Sewell was too for a little while. And then that's been pretty much it. There's been a couple random videos here and there, but I mean, I was putting my Algorand experiment on weekly. So now a lot of those videos are basically missing. It's a little bit frustrating. And there didn't seem to be a great plan for bringing users on. There just weren't a lot of users because you didn't have anybody like was uploading to it. So it just kind of was a bust. So I don't know about this. Like I wouldn't want to give them this money because like their platform just really didn't work, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of plan to make it work. Yeah, so they have a magic. They want to have a magic link so you can sign in with on a Web 2 way, and then it will just create an Algorand based wallet in the back end. See what average ends. So this is given the relatively small user base, the amount requested, and my own sense of priority for how to spend my XGov voting power, I can't see upvoting this proposal. I would very much like to see projects like this succeed, but there are so many factors making this difficult at this time. Yeah. He mentions that, because the proposal talks a lot about gaming and streaming, and um, Zen points out that mainstream gaming culture really rejects Web3, and that's been kind of largely the case. Yeah, so well, it is what it is. I don't think this post really explains what NifGen is, which is why I think a lot of people are confused. Anyway, I didn't mean to go in my soapbox. We got a few left. A free-to-play blockchain game, and they want 1.5 million algo to develop a third-person shooter game that captivates the gaming community with a captivating story. Yeah, a lot of captivating, impressive graphics, and enjoyable gameplay. Our goal is to provide an immersive gaming experience where users can also learn to utilize the blockchain technology as the game is accessible to everyone for free. Well, I mean that was supposed to be what Cosmic Champs did too, and I don't know if a ton of people are playing that outside of. I wonder how many people it brought over. I feel like not a lot. I think it was mostly the Algorand people. I don't know if GovZen responded to this one. I just want to pull through. It says, I think if the game balance is done right, which is a big if, this could be something worth approving. I would agree with Oyster Pack that the scope of milestones reaches out a bit far and that it would be much easier to approve if the milestones are split up over their corresponding quarters. Either way, I would like to see more YouTube videos of gameplay and tutorials so that we can see how far along the development is and get an idea of how well this lines up with given milestones. I'm excited to see what this project can bring. Free to play, but are they going to sell? Are they going to sell NFTs? I don't know. But a lot of games, one of the things with Web3 is that these game companies can sell NFTs ahead of time so they can raise money to fund their game. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not like eager on funding a game, any kind of game really. Dottie the DeFi lottery. Dedicated, permissionless, secure, high odds lottery web app running on the Algorand blockchain. But only asking one algo. I'm not. Is this just a way to bring awareness to the project? Because it's kind of funny, isn't it? Oh, it says it seems the algo requested is 2,000, not one. That said, their website looks all right. Wouldn't be a user, but for the amount requested, I could support this, as I know these types of dApps do attract quite a few users. I would want the randomness verified if possible by someone more qualified than myself. Yeah, fair enough. I wasn't a big fan of the lottery, the no loss lottery on Yieldly, so I just don't think this is that valuable, but probably wouldn't be getting my vote. By the way, guys, love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. So, which ones you think are good or not good, let me know. This one is for Your Place, a decentralized, uncensorable social media protocol built on IPFS and the Algorand blockchain. This open source software is built to distribute social media posts, profiles, and content. The goal of Your Place is to give all power and decisions back to the user, etc., etc. You kind of get the idea. And they're asking for 1 million algo, which, for context, when they wrote this, it was worth about 170,000. Right now, by the way, that's about 138,000. So that's gone down quite a bit. Here's the problem with social media. You really need a critical mass to make any social media platform work. That's why there just haven't been that many of them. And the ones that do develop, even Google couldn't get, like my cat scratching on the floor. Even Google couldn't pull this off. They tried really hard to pull this off and they couldn't. Google's was a failure. There was that one BitCloud, I think it was, and who's using that anymore? Nobody's using it. It was a good idea, but the problem is, like, you go on it and everyone's just like posting about being on BitCloud. So like, when the conversation is about the platform, that's sort of the first stage, and you have to get out of that stage to where it's a conduit for other conversations. Good idea in the sense of trying to keep it, less censorship and stuff. But yeah, I don't know that I would support that either. Shazbot says uncensorable will lead to trouble. Yeah, the thing is, like, I'm pretty free speech, as you guys know. It used to be that journalists were always free speech. That's sort of changed now for some reason, but like there are times when you have to be able to take stuff down. If people are like doxing other people or doing stuff that really crosses the line, I mean, you do have to be able to take some of that stuff down. So it could be trouble. I agree with that. Evil tools. Two more to go, guys. They're asking for 1,000 algos, not very much. Over the last 6 months, Evil Tools have developed a slew of no-code tools to carry out monotonous processes on the Algorand blockchain and allowing users with no coding experience to work efficiently and easily. Well, that sounds like a good thing. To date, we have developed mass mint tools for ARC3, ARC19, ARC69, mass updater tools for ARC19 and ARC69, mass asset add, mass send, mass asset opt-out, IPFS, collection upload, wallet holding tools, and tools that allow people to find holders of collections and multi-mint assets. That sounds pretty interesting. Way over my pay grade, but it sounds very useful. So they just want to keep adding more tools. That sounds pretty good, actually. I give it to Evil Tools. They sound like they got doing good things. They're only asking for 1,000. And then Transaction Builder UI. They're asking one algo. I think maybe that's a mistake as well. The last one was, so we'll see. Transaction Builder UI, name not final, will be an online tool that provides an easy and user-friendly way to create just about any transaction on Algorand. This is gold. I think this is really important. Creating and sending a transaction on Algorand without an existing tool for that particular type of transaction requires using the SDK or goal, which requires programming knowledge and or node setup. Yeah, I don't know. Just about every wallet makes simple payment transactions easy. However, many of the more advanced transactions are either difficult or impossible within the wallet's UIs. Most wallets don't allow most types of Algorand transactions for security and user experience reasons. This is sort of like beyond my pay grade, but it sounds, if I'm understanding it right, to be very, very useful. Average since no cash was going to roll this out anyway, I will gladly approve this request for one algo, assuming it's not already approved by the time I go to vote. For me, this is cost to benefit analysis. I may never use this tool, but if even a few algo fam do, then it will have been worth the investment. I wonder why they only want. I guess it is real. They only want one algo. Well, sounds like a pretty easy one to approve to me. That's what you will be voting on governance. The next governance that comes out, the XGov, the very first XGov vote. I thought it was cool to kind of combine all that and just explain what it is for people, so you can see. Not always the most exciting content, but it's good to know what's coming. And I was able to give you my thoughts on it a little bit too. So